Okay. I leaned toward giving this game just a little bit more time than the other games that I had lined up this evening because some of these monster fights can take a little longer than others, and I wanted to try and get more than one fight in. Um, anyway, Jewbanger asks, "Did you see the clip that DC released today with some footage for the upcoming 2022 games? Some neat shots of the JSA might get you excited." If what you meant to say was movies instead of games, then yes. I don't know anything about 2022 DC games, but I saw something that was like showing their 2022 movies. There's some Aquaman, there was some Black Adam, which had the Justice Society stuff in it, like a great shot of Hawkman and Dr. Fate and Flash, and the Batman, of course, which is coming in just like a few weeks here as I stream this. Yeah, it definitely looked cool. I wouldn't say that it got me excited. I don't get hyped for much entertainment these days. I think I think I'm interested, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But I'm not like, I don't really get jazzed and really fired up for hardly anything these days. But it's not that I'm pessimistic, I don't think. I just don't tend to get hyped. But what I found is that the less hyped I get for things, even if I'm still like, oh, that looks cool, I'm looking forward, to checking that out. I just tend to enjoy things more, for whatever they end up being. The less I get hyped for them in advance. Okay, yeah, you said sorry, I meant films, not games. Yeah, so we're on the same page. Yeah, definitely some cool looking stuff. I am a big fan of the Justice Society of America, especially the Jeff Johns era of the JSA. It's just like, that's one of my favorite runs of comic books of all time, the Jeff Johns JSA run. So very, very much looking forward to seeing kind of what they do with that, and hopefully give them a good treatment. And I would love to see like a full-on JSA movie. I mean, like Alan Scott, the Spectre, Jay Garrick. Man, they can do some really cool stuff. Let's see, Taylor Ballard, welcome to the chat. Thanks for jumping in. Says, Monster Hunter World has got to be one of my fave games all time. Loved the series beforehand, and it is the exact evolution it needed to become mainstream for the West. Yeah, that sounds about right. I am not. I'm not a fan of the franchise before now, but this one definitely got me on board. It got me to buy the PSP game Monster Hunter Unite something. I can't remember what it's called, which didn't quite pull me in. I've just been getting so much out of this. Okay, so where I left off in kind of my prep is I'm in the Guiding Lands. I'm in the post-campaign, after the main campaign of Iceborne. And I'm going to fight this Tigrex if I can. That's the plan. It's been a long time since I fought a Tigrex. I've got an armor loadout that I think will serve me well enough. Once you fight monsters in the Guiding Lands, you get basically the ability to create a lure for that monster, so that then you can summon it any time in the Guiding Lands, provided you have ingredients to make the lure. And that allows you to more strategically grind for monster parts that you, in particular, are wanting to go after. So right now, my post, and this isn't going to make any sense to people that aren't familiar with this game, but right now my goal is I'm raising the level of the forest region in the Guiding Lands, which is the name of this whole big kind of continent type deal. And this is the forest region here. There's like layers. This is the top layer, middle layer, bottom layer. So it's got these two layers of forest region basically. And so the more hunting I do in any given area, the more its level raises, and the more challenging and difficult monsters come into that area. Now, Tigrex looks like he is hanging around. Oh, crap. I didn't want to fight a tempered one. I was hoping he was spawning in the forest region, because he wouldn't be a tempered one if that's where he was spawning from, because my forest is only at level 4. But it looks like he's tempered. I guess I'll still try to take him on. What's nice is in the... wait, what is that? Why does that have a question mark next to it? I can't remember. Oh, because I just haven't found him yet? He's not showing up on my minimap? Okay, that's fine. I'm not really interested in going after Brachydios. But yeah, I need the lure recipe for this Tigrex anyway, and once I can lure him, I'll be able to use him if I want to continue grinding up the level of the forest region. I think I'm already wearing the Tigrex loadout that I had prepared. Oops, did I skip past it somewhere? Where's my Tigrex loadout? I might be pronouncing names of things differently than they're supposed to be pronounced. Like, he might be Tigrex, for all I know. And that's because I turned off voice acting. Very soon into my experience with Monster Hunter World. I was like, can't do it. It's very anime-style voice acting, which I cannot abide. If you're cool with those sounds, then you're probably okay with anime. And the various other acting styles that come along with that style of acting. Not into it myself. So, let's see, I'm using a lightning element weapon, so that's what I should make sure my little buddy has. He's got to drag him up right now. Let's get him. Let's get him that. And then Plunder Blade. Yeah, I guess. Actually, you know what? No, just for this fight, I just kind of want to be expedient. So what would be expedient? Where's my info on the Tigrex? Here we go. Oops. Weaknesses include thunder, and then kind of just moderately weak to a bunch of status effects. Yeah, let's do thunder, and then just to be conservative, I'll have him use the Vigor Wasp spray, so he can revive me, get me back in the game if I need it. Alright. So now let's get our buffs going. Get our defensive up. Our offensive up. Get our poop shooter ready to make those monsters go away that interfere, hopefully. Yeah, sure, we'll do this. And, man, this is the game that, like, probably all listeners of the Christian Geek Central podcast are sick of hearing me talk about. Because in the Geek Week segment on that podcast, I have been talked about this every week for I don't know how long. Because it's probably the game I've played most consistently over the last year or so. Just having a great time with it. But man, there's so much to it. I mean, it's like there's two very different modes of play. I mean, there's the combat mode, when you're going at it with monsters. But then there's like what I would almost describe as a deck building mode, when you're back at the base and trying to optimize your loadout to get all of your equipment to work together in a synergistic ways. Alright, it's gonna get busy now. I don't know how much talking I'm gonna do while I'm... Oh! Maybe you'll just have a higher rate of exclamations coming from me. And I do lean on the, Oh, man. I'm gonna be even worse at this game than I normally am, trying to be verbal while I fight. But I am not good at games that require quick thinking, fast reaction time, pattern memorization, all that kind of stuff that action games are known for. So I really have to rely quite a bit, oh my gosh, on my loadout. Oops. Oh, I didn't need to do that jump. Let's try this. Oh, he doesn't like that. Okay. Jeez. This guy. I don't think I've ever fought a tempered one before. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should have used my defensive build. Oh, you know what? Do I have, I think I do have fortitude. I should have just let myself get knocked out. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Because I haven't even summoned my, my army of buddies yet. I'm just gonna play aggressive, get in there and punch on him and let him kill me. Because I've got a fortitude gem. That will give a static boost to my offense and defense after every time I wipe out, every time I get knocked unconscious. Which this guy, I think, is likely to do. I guess I said I was going to just be offensive and not dodge, but I can't help but try to do it a little bit. Boy, I'm getting in some decent hits before he takes me out. Alright, here it comes. There I go. Oh, that's right, I got the Vigor Wasp. Oh well. So that's not going to count toward my fortitude. Oh man, Abby's doing such a good job of healing me. One more. There I go. And I can actually trigger the effect one more time so it'll stack, so I think I can end up with a total of like, I don't know, 30% defense and 20% offense bonuses? I can't remember what it is, but it kind of behooves me to go out here without even boosting my health and get knocked out again. Hey, evening, DT. Thanks for coming out. Oops. Oh, crap. I was looking at the chat, and I walked right off the edge. DT asks, so when is PT coming up in the schedule tonight? Yeah, no, that's not happening, DT. This is games I'm in love with. Not games I am terrified by and will only play under the most unusual of circumstances. Gosh, I should have really... Here, I'm just gonna let him, like, totally wipe me out, because he might leave the locale before I really have a chance to do much to him, so... Come on, dude. Do it again. Right here, I'll make it easy for you. I'll try to make it easy for you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Right here. There we go. One more. One more. One more. Oh, don't do that. Gonna make me come all the way up there. What a pain. Did you jump down to where I was? Come on, dude. Alright, listen. I'll wait right here. Come on now. Hello, Craig. Says, actually, DT, it's good morning. Yay for waking up just before 5 a.m. Oh my gosh. Alright, I don't think he's coming. Are you just hanging out down here? Alright, come on. Let's do this. There we go. Boy, I think I have a Fortitude gem equipped. I sure hope I do. Anyway. Let's refill our items. Retake our mega potions. Eat again. Oh no, it's too early to eat. Okay. Alright. Dang it. Okay. Oh wait, no. No. We can't go. We gotta at least hang on. Here's what we gotta do. We gotta take this to at least boost up our stamina and health. And then refill. Oops. Now we're set to go out again. Boy, I really wish I could eat, though. I hear ya, I hear ya. I know you're upset. There you are. Good gravy. Ah, crap. Oh! Good gravy. Oops. Oh, crap. Jeez. Oh! Oh, he's running away. Okay, well. Whew. Well, where did he go? Did he leave the location? That stinker. He did. He's gone. All right. So I should have really early on just bolted to getting wiped out twice. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the main hub. I do want to check and make sure that I had Fortify even equipped in that loadout. Bummer. I wish he wouldn't have been tempered. Tempered just means it's like a nastier version of the same monster. You know, there's a little bit of a metallic sheen to their skin, and they have more hit points and do more damage, and sometimes they're more aggressive, you know. Alright, what monsters we got here? I've got a list that I'm looking for. Radobon, Lunastra. Let's see here. I don't need either one of those. Okay, so I will actually plan on luring a monster then, which should be an easier fight. Let me, though, first make sure... Yes, Fortitude. Oh, what the crap? Why do I have two? Ugh. Oh, that fight could have gone differently, dang it. I wasted a slot here that's totally wasted. Okay. I gotta make a note. A note to change that build later on. Jeez Louise. What a waste. What a waste. Okay. So... let's get back out there. And I'll take on, just to grind up the area a little bit, either what would now be a tempered Tobi-Kadachi. I think I'd rather just do a regular master rank Anjanath, which is like a fire-breathing T-Rex. So I think I'll do that. Boy, if I shared some of these thoughts on the podcast episode for this week, but as I've looked for other games that could be my next Monster Hunter game after this one, I think it just needs to be another Monster Hunter game. And those are harder for me to get because I don't have a Switch. So unless they decide to port over Monster Hunter Rise, which I suppose is still a possibility, but I think Nintendo probably paid a decent amount of money, and I think it was built from the ground up to be exclusive to the Switch. It's not that it couldn't be ported over. The new Xbox and PlayStation consoles could certainly run it. But I don't know how long that exclusivity is contracted to last. None of us do. And so I think I'm going to very gently, non-committally start saving for a Switch now, but hope for it to get ported over, or for a new Monster Hunter game to come out, in the next year, which I would be kind of surprised if it did. Not many companies do the whole announce and then release 6 months later thing. Although I'm trying to remember what the cycle was for the announcement of Rise to its release. Maybe a year out? I don't know if it was more than that or not. Okay, so I got a lot of these Anjanath lures, so let's use one of those. And then let's see, a water weapon, so let's switch our Palico over to a water weapon. And I'm going to have him use the Plunder Blade. This helps me more easily get components off of the monsters I'm fighting. And that's valuable in the Guiding Lands for a number of reasons. There's when you fight monsters here, you can get components off of them that you wouldn't get off of them if you fought them in their normal, environments in the main game. And some of those components help you to craft more lures. And so it's a little bit cyclical, but I do want to stay on top of getting some of those components to make it easier to keep fighting more of these guys. And summon them at my whim to be destroyed. Man, I remember it was a big deal when I fought Anjanath in the base game for the first time, because he's kind of in Monster Hunter World known as the first monster that really kind of requires players to take advantage of systems in the game and really put in some effort. Either manipulating the controller and having good reaction times, or leveraging the various equipment mechanics and stuff in the game. No, didn't quite. And so, being able to defeat him, that was a big deal. It made me think, oh my gosh, maybe I can make my way through this game. Maybe it won't be too tough for me. And I've questioned that a number of times, playing both the base campaign and the Iceborne expansion. Like, is this the monster, I would sometimes ask myself, that I'm just not going to be able to get past? And Monster Hunter World has really proven to be the exception. I do not like playing games normally that are this difficult, that are this challenging and stressful at times. But there's something very rewarding about realizing that if I plan well enough, I don't have to get good in the sense of learning to, having good reflexes and timing and stuff. I'm just not built to be good at that kind of gameplay. But if I think, if I plan, if I'm willing to grind and create thoughtful loadouts of equipment, then my crappy reaction times and my tendency toward button mashing will not keep me from being able to make it through the game. I can compensate for that leveraging the mechanics available to me. Oops. Let me see if I can, this isn't a crazy hard fight, so I'm going to try and multitask and answer some chat, because I see in my peripheral vision there's a couple that are directed at me. I'm going to try and get to him here. Craig asks, or maybe just says, I've seen Monster Hunter Rise gameplay, and it's far more rich in the Eastern culture influence than this one. The fact that it's only for PC and Switch is also kind of cheeky. Yeah, I mean, this series owes a lot of thanks to Nintendo for the fan base that it developed on 3DS and I think Nintendo DS as well. Just portable systems. It does owe some significant thanks to PSP and Sony, but in recent years, its core fan base is on Nintendo portable consoles. So, I guess it shouldn't surprise me. It was a bummer after World made it such a widespread phenomenon, the by far best-selling game that Capcom's ever had, blowing Street Fighter and Resident Evil out of the water even. But I think it might have also been the case that Monster Hunter World was never going to be able to run on Switch, and so they took a lot of the tissue of Monster Hunter World and made Rise from that. That's the impression I get. But even so, I would really hope that Rise does eventually come to PlayStation and Xbox. And I'm thinking at this point, Capcom really wants that too. Because a lot of people, I think, would buy it on those platforms. And then DT says, are there any games you found you didn't enjoy because even though other aspects were good, you felt they were too easy? That is much more rare for me. Much more rare. Usually I have an issue with it being too hard because I suck. So that is very, very common. There was, I think early on, Titan Quest felt a little bit too easy. Oops. Oops, dang it, didn't quite get out of his way enough. Oh, jeez, almost got me again. Oh, jeez. Move, girl, move! Oof. Oof. I'm trying to get my buffs going here. And he is not giving me much wiggle room. And just one little healing potion. Abby, if you could distract him for a moment, that'd be helpful. Anytime, Abby. Jeez Louise. Abby is the name of my wife's childhood cat, and I have modeled my Monster Hunter off of my wife Holly. I noticed, and I've said this several times during live streams, but I noticed when I was looking at the different options that there was a default face that looked strikingly, at least up close, like my wife. And so I just leaned into that and made my hunter look as much like her as I could. And named her Holly. And so I like to say that my wife kicks monster butt. And she does. Alright. What other game? I feel like there was maybe one other that felt a little bit on the easy side. Time Spinner is it's a game that's very much in the vein of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I was a little bit surprised at the ease of difficulty of that game the first time through. I didn't feel the need to change up my weapons, really. But no, that's really not a common thing for me at all. Ooh, I want to pick up these little shinies. This is the kind of stuff that falls off because of the, that plunder blade that I got my cat equipped with. And they don't just stay there forever, they do fade away after a while, so you gotta pick them up. You're incentivized to pick them up even in the middle of the fight, if you can, before too much time passes. Oh, come on. Oh, he's getting tired. All right. Whew. Hello, Adam Collings. Thanks for jumping into the chat. Ravenous Spectre asks, planning to play Dying Light 2. I did play Dying Light 2 for over 3 hours, and decided I didn't want to do a review of it on the YouTube channel because I didn't feel like it would be fair. It's ultimately just not my kind of game, and I didn't feel like making content for a game that is just not made for me. I didn't feel like... I mean, reviews are definitely subjective, but even more so when I can tell that, like, on a very pervasive level, a game is not for me, then I don't really want to... I think that's just going to irritate people for me to review that kind of game. But I did talk about it for about 30 minutes on this week's episode of the podcast and talked about why it's specifically not a game for me, and tried in talking about it at length to help listeners identify whether or not it might be for them. So you can hear me talk about that game for a while on this week's episode of the Christian Geek Central podcast, which I think is episode, I want to say 692, 691 maybe? Oh! Oh, man! There we go. Did I just kill him? Oh no, he's asleep! That was nuts! What made him fall asleep? I don't have sleep on this weapon. I've never seen that happen before. My Palico doesn't have a sleep weapon. I don't see any little guys around that might have put him to sleep. That was weird. Maybe he just got tuckered out. Like he just got fatigued or something. Oh, crap, I hate this. It doesn't do much damage to me with my armor on, but it's just a little humiliating. It's like a dwarf not wanting to get tossed. Jeez. Oh, crap. He's not happy. Oh, I hear some Gajalaga guys around. Maybe one of them shot him with a sleep dart. Oh, nice. Fell into a trap. He's got to be getting close now. Come on, girl. Oh! Roasted me a bit with that one. Oops, dang it. Picked up a dumb slinger bomb. Well... Oh! Who just did that to me? Go get him, Abby. That guy's a stinker. Did he poison me? That's unacceptable. Do I have some kind of antidote? I don't. I'm just gonna have to put up with it till it wears off. Oh, wait. Here we go. What a pain. Okay. Let's see, DT asks, ever play Shadow of the Colossus re-release? If so, thoughts? I've not. Since I've become such a fan of Monster Hunter World, it's certainly been on my radar, but I don't think it mechanically is what I'm really going to want. I mean, you are climbing on top of and fighting giant monsters, but that alone is not really appealing to me. What I like so much about Monster Hunter World is the environments that you are exploring and the materials you're finding in those environments and how you are leveraging those and the materials you gain off of fighting monsters to customize your loadout just so to maximize potential against specific monsters. It's all that... it's all that, those deep systems, those deep preparatory systems in Monster Hunter World that are a major part of why I enjoy it so much. So, I don't know that I would like Shadow of the Colossus, and haven't wanted to risk the money on trying it out. Is he sleeping? Did he, where did he go? Oh, he went up there. I'll bet he is sleeping. Okay. So I think we're about to wrap this fight up. Yep. Okay. Now this is a little tricky. He sleeps on the vines here. I can't actually lay a trap down there, but I can put it right here. And then... Oh, nice. Okay, that was close enough. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Out. For the count. Now, what is this other monster that's running around? Viper Toby Kadachi. Do I, no, I've got that. I've got a lure for that. So I can just leave now and let the guiding lands reset and see if maybe there's a monster that'll come in the reset that I'll want to jump in and hunt. Otherwise, I'll do another lure. Here's all the stuff I got off of his body. Very good. Wait, I didn't see... Did the forest region... Oh, it went up to 5. Okay, great. So that is going to now change the monsters that will tend to appear in the forest region. Ooh. The Argosy has returned. That's a ship that brings supplies in. So let's go take care of that. Buy stuff. Good. Let's see here. Let's add some fertilizer. This is my little garden that I'm growing things in that are useful to me. So that's good. And then I need to... There's some kind of weird Steamworks thing. Lore-wise, I don't know what the crap this is, but I go here, I play a weird random lottery game that I get free currency to use every now and then. And I can get stuff for it, so I'm gonna do that. And there's probably some system of knowing like what buttons to push when. I do spend some time online trying to figure things out and looking at walkthroughs and guides and stuff like that, but there do come points where I'm like, listen, I don't care about that system of the game that much, and this whole Steamworks thing is just one that's not really interested me. So I just kind of go triangle square X, triangle square X, triangle square X, and see what it gets me. All right, got me plenty of good stuff. Great. All right, now let's see what monsters might be in the Guiding Lands now. Ooh, Black Veil Val Hazak. I've got a lure for that. Rathalos. I think I've got a lure for that as well. So, yeah, let's go ahead and fight a Tempered Viper Tobi Kadachi to end out the night. These are pretty actively jumping electrical kinds of monsters. Yeah, any one of these games. This is, I said earlier in the stream that like those Ubisoft games, like I could just go, I could play a long session if I had the time for some fluke of a reason to go like 6 hours. That I totally could on those Ubisoft games, and I think the same is true. Well, I know the same is true because on my birthday in the last couple of years, I've played Monster Hunter World for a good stretch on at least a couple of those. So anyway, okay, so let's see. Do I want to do? Oh, you know what? Let's do a Pukei-Pukei. I haven't done one of those in a while. I've been fighting Tobi Kadachis for like a couple of nights, and I'm personally a little bit tired of them. But Pukei-Pukei, these guys are kind of neat, and they shoot poison. And it'll be tempered, so it probably won't die too crazy quickly. And then if I have a little extra time, I'll fight a Jagras, a great Jagras. So yeah, let's do this. All right. Using a lightning weapon. Uh-oh, something went wrong. Okay, that's fine. I don't really play online with this anyway. And let's see. There we go. And Plunder Blade. Yep, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Boy, this is a fairly old loadout because the I can tell from the costume. You know, you can change the appearance of your armor if you specifically grind to buy what's called layered armor. And that's something I only give attention to when I just have tons of monster components that I don't need for practical equipment. Then maybe I'll get some layered armor. And this is a kind of a layered armor configuration that I put together a while ago. So, but I should still, even though I haven't updated the practical armor set of this in a while, I should still be good for this fight. Let's see here. Craig asks, would you say that this is one of those games that are almost perfectly balanced and timeless, like, say, Skyrim? I don't know. I usually don't think... because my gameplay skills are generally less than, I think, most players. That's my impression anyway. I don't know that I would trust myself to talk about a game being balanced, especially, I mean, if you're talking about difficulty. Now, if by balance you mean the different types of gameplay mechanics and elements in it, why am I taking these potions? I'm taking these potions way too early. I haven't even seen the monster yet. This is my problem, trying to multitask. But I would describe it as balanced in terms of types of gameplay. As I said earlier, you've got these wild monster fights that I, certainly do during live streams, but what you're not going to see me do really during live streams is the long time spent staring at a screen and an equipment loadout and changing gems around and socketing them in different ways, and all the thinking that goes into this game. That's a totally different type of gameplay. And then there's also times where you're not in a knockdown, drag-out fight with a giant monster, and you're not really deeply thinking about configurations of equipment and stuff, but instead you're just exploring one of the big open areas to collect components that you need and not really getting into big monster fights. It's just about exploration. And so there are those, what I would say those are the three main modes of play for Monster Hunter World. And I do find them to be a nice balance. They're almost three separate games, or three separate types of games. And so you can have, very often, this really intense kind of experience, because each of these monsters you fight, it's like fighting a boss in another video game. These prolonged, intense things. Crap, I lost my train of thought. I was doing pretty good there for a little while. So you can have that intense experience, or if you want to have a quote-unquote podcast game where you're just kind of having a fairly mindless, casual experience, you can have that too when you're just wandering in areas and going into the different mining locations, or or picking flowers, which you do in this game, kind of like you pick flowers in Skyrim for components. There's just now it's not flexible in the sense that some other games are that have multiple systems like that, where you could just engage with one and not the others. You really do need to engage, I think, with all three of those systems at different times, those three different modes of play. But yeah, I do find the balance in gameplay types very enjoyable. And as far as timeless, I mean, time will tell. I could say that I would probably enjoy a Monster Hunter game that had these same mechanics, but had more antiquated graphics. I think I would enjoy it, but only to a certain degree. First off, that isn't how the old Monster Hunter games are. They had this Monster Hunter World. I've not even really played the previous games, but I just know from research enough that they added a number of quality of life improvements to the franchise with this, as someone in chat mentioned earlier. So I wouldn't really want to, I don't think, go too far back in the series. I think I would play Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, maybe. But anyway, as far as whether or not this one's timeless, only time will tell. But good gravy. As of today or yesterday, I'm at 880 hours put into this game. Which is insane to me. That's way more than I put into Skyrim. I think I put 300 to 400 hours into Skyrim at some point. So timeless, I don't know, but there's so much game to be had here. As I've said on the podcast about it several times, it's a hobby in itself, A person, I think, that enjoys this game as much as I do, and as much as many Monster Hunter players do, could justifiably buy a console only to play this, and they would easily get their money's worth out of the purchase of that console. Which is why, I am considering, for the first time, possibly saving up to buy a Switch. If Monster Hunter Rise never comes to other consoles, I could possibly see a Switch as feeling really worth it to buy just to play Monster Hunter Rise. Now, I suspect and hope that actually Rise will come to Xbox and PlayStation. I think that'll be all the more likely if Capcom gets purchased by Xbox or PlayStation, which, with all the acquisitions that have been going on, and both companies saying, hey, we are not done. You can count on more acquisitions coming. I think, from what I'm hearing from analysts, this isn't based on my own ideas. I'm not an analyst of the industry, but the analysts that I do pay attention to have been saying that, Capcom is a real decent possibility to be an acquisition. In particular, they've been saying by PlayStation. So I think if PlayStation acquires Capcom, it'll be all the more likely that we'll see a port to PlayStation of Rise. We'll see. Gabriel Simpson says, good night, everyone. Gonna watch the season finale of Boba Fett with my wife. Cool. Time well spent. With your wife, especially. And I hope you enjoy the finale, too. I reviewed the premiere of that, and didn't connect with me, but hopefully fans are getting what they want from the rest of that season. Man, the clutch claw that I just used, that's what it's called, that grappling weapon thing. Man, when they brought that in with Iceborne, at first I was intimidated by it. I was like, I don't know how to use this. This game already has plenty of systems that I don't have a handle on. I don't need one more. But once I realized the application it had, especially to fighting flying monsters, I really started taking advantage of it more. I'm not good enough that I can really use it to, get on monsters and steer them into walls and stuff, which I know is a major part of a lot of players' strategies in using the Clutch Claw. I'm not really good at that. But just monsters that ordinarily are flying and elusive to a guy like me that uses strictly melee weapons in this game, and specifically just sword and shield all the time, I gotta get up into their business to do damage. And so if they're a flyer, I only have so many flash bombs that can knock them out of the sky, and then I just have to wait for them to get tired of flying around and land every now and then. That's not a fun fight. And now I really don't dread fighting flying monsters or see it as an annoyance to fight them because of the Clutch Claw, which, man, feels really cool and surprisingly easy to use to get on top of flying monsters. And looks really cool when you're doing it. Makes me feel like I'm a much better player than I am. Oops. Let's see, DT asks, any ideas what the next stream will be? Let's see. If you mean what instead of when will be, I do these about every 4 months, or quarterly, or whatever that is, 3, 6, 9, 12, so about every 3 months, I guess. And the one that would come next is the one that tends to vary more than some of the other ones. I think it might be time for me to do all-time favorite games. I haven't done that theme on a stream in a few years because I haven't really added a significant number of games to that list. And so I wanted to wait until I got some added to that list that I could bring that I haven't played during that themed live stream before. But I think that's a good possibility. I also haven't done a retro stream in a while. But I think it maybe has been longer since I've done an all-time favorite games live stream. So that may be next. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm always open to suggestions. So if you have a theme in mind, it's not going to be scary games. That, you got to do something for me if you want me to play scary games for you. Or hard games, you know. Oops, I gotta... Oops. Let's see, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before I beat this guy. I'll go over a few minutes if I need to. There is something fun about, you know, fighting monsters that, you know, don't go down super easy, but also aren't a threat to you because you've leveled up your gear enough that they're not really a threat. Then there's kind of something playful about it, and it you know, sometimes the way I'll talk to these monsters out loud, I'll say, "All right, oh, come on, fella," you know. It reminds me of the attitude of play that you can have playing with like a dog. You know, getting their chew toy and kind of wrestling, you know, struggling over control of the chew toy with a dog, and so there are elements continually with this game that make me think about the new heaven and the new earth and the restored relationship that mankind will have with creation, with creatures, and I think that there's a sense in which a game like this, without the developers realizing it, is a working out of our desire to have a right relationship with creatures, to have a playful relationship with big, amazing creatures that right now would be threatening to us. You know, when you're playing a game like this, they're not really threatening to you because you're just playing a game, you know? But you can imagine what it's like to be up close and personal to these, up close and personal with these giant creatures as they are exercising, you know, their limits, showing their strength and, you know, how they're designed to work and exert themselves, and, you know, it's just amazing. Wouldn't you love to see a lion up close in a way that you could enjoy its strength and its speed, but without it being a threat to you, you know? So I do recurringly think about the new heaven and the new earth and the promise of a restored peace between humans and creatures as I play this game. Oh, we gotta be getting close now. Oh, he's upset. He's all red. he's limping now. He'll probably go somewhere and sleep, and then I should be able to get him. Alright, did I get everything he dropped? Alright. DT quotes me saying, quote, "It's not going to be scary games," unquote, and then adds, "He's on to me." Yeah. Rugged Warrior adds, "Scary games on the hardest difficulty." That actually would be less scary, and that actually would become boring, I think, for you guys, because I would just be like, I would walk into the same initial scare and die immediately over and over again for 4 hours. And you guys don't want to see that. Because the scare wouldn't get me after the first 2 or 3 times. And then it's just... me talking about... Oh, oof. Oh, no. Okay, we gotta get this guy out of here if I can. That is a tempered Rathalos, baby. Go away, I shoot poop at you! Poop upon you! Oh crap, so this guy got too freaked out by the Rathalos, so he's not sleeping right now, so I'm actually gonna have to finish him off properly. Dang it, and I didn't even get my buffs going. Oh, man, I haven't even been fighting with my Tail Raiders. Okay, let's recruit some Tail Raiders. Abby? Abby, you need to recruit those Tail Raiders. Can you do that, please? Abby? Here. Do it, Abby. Put it down. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, let me just take a healing thing real quick. Alright, crew. Now we got a full crew here. I should have been fighting with these guys all along. Help me finish this thing off. Oh, missed. Dang it. Oh, come on. Any second now. Any swing now will be the last. There we go. There he goes. All right. Let's carve this dude. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Thanks for coming out. Those are 4 games that I am just in love with right now, and probably will continue to be for months to come. I don't know that there's... I almost kind of feel invincible against temptation to buy any of their games for a while, because I'm sitting in such a good place with so many different games that kind of scratch different itches that I really enjoy. So it was my pleasure to share these games with you. Yeah, thanks for coming out and sharing this time with me. Have a good weekend, and I will talk to you another time. Bye-bye. It is time again for Christian Geek Central's annual Game Save event, fundraising for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which provides free treatment for children facing life or death circumstances and shares its cutting-edge life-saving research with hospitals all over the world. You're still welcome to join the Game Save team by following the link in the description below. And once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/Christian Geek Central beginning 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 5th. You can donate or get more info by clicking on my fundraising page in the links below, where you'll also find incentives and rewards for doing so. For $5, choose a topic for me to share my sometimes overly strong opinions on during my live stream. For $10, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 5th live stream, pick a favorite, or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 5th live stream, pick an old favorite of yours, or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something no one wants to hear. And for $50, you get the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's a $90 value. On top of that, I have set fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope you'll be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central Game Save team do some good for some kids who really need it. And then please join me at youtube.com/Christian Geek Central for my 24-hour marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 5th. Hope to see you then.
Oh my gosh. This is all kinds of wrong.